Thank you, Minister. It's now my great pleasure to introduce our new CEO, almost 12 months into the role and hasn't missed a beat. He's been out and about all across the state, and I've got to say it's been a pleasure to work with him in the new role. Can you please welcome Craig Davidson?
Hi everyone. It's a great sight. I knew it would be from up here, so thanks to everyone for joining us. I did miss a beat, Ollie, a few weeks ago on a mountain bike, so that's a whole other story if we get a chance to catch up during a little break. It is fantastic to be here. This is the last of our market briefings and global market briefings for the state for this year. I've enjoyed them. My first. I'm 10 months through my first 12 months in the role, and this event really, this week and actually next week as well, signifies a really important milestone for me. I was looking forward to it. It's great to have our family from all over the world in the room with us at the moment and for next week. But most importantly, it's a great chance to reconnect with our industry again, and it's been fantastic to be able to do that. So I'd also like to thank Joseph. Thanks. Joseph had to run off, but look, he is part of, and the Shannon Rusker and his family are part of how we acknowledge country, and I think that's a really good thing to have as well. Again, part of the whole family. I think I would just, I guess, acknowledge that there's been a tough time up at Gari for the last few weeks. I want to acknowledge that to Piper James and her family. And I think also talking about smoking ceremonies that Joseph touched on, having been through a few of them in my time and some tougher times, I know how important they are and how empowering they are. And they do make you realise that there's a bigger presence and there's also other people that have your back. So I know how important that would have been. Thanks to our Minister. The one thing I'd say about our Minister is he turns up. He can't always be there in person, but he'll put time aside to do welcomes. Most times, though, when you ask him and he has time, he will prioritise tourism for us, and that's a fantastic thing to have in a minister and sometimes what we need. I'll also acknowledge the Yuggera and Turrbal people of Brisbane, Meanjin, and pay my respects to their elders past and present, and also their connection to the land and seas and community, culture, but also the sky. I think it often gets forgotten. Brisbane's. I also like to pay. I would pay my respects to Anthony Ryan. Of those of us that know Anthony well, he also turns up. He's just landed and he's on his way. So, oh, sorry, mate. You're such a big presence in Brisbane tourism, and I missed you. So I'm glad I didn't say anything bad. But Anthony, in the short time I've known him, has proven to be a great partner and, again, a person that just turns up for us, and we really appreciate that, so welcome. Also to Dom at TA, thanks for Tourism Australia being here and present today. You'll hear from him in a little bit. And really importantly, we have a range of our regional partners, CEOs, chairs and team in the room from all over the state. We have 13 regional tourism organisations as our partners in region. We work together, we deliver together. But like every family, 13 or 14 brothers and sisters, we have our disagreements, but we have our challenges. What we also all know, though, is we will win together, and every single one of us knows that. So we will keep walking forward together. It's a great network. 4 airports, 13 regional partners. We're a different state in Queensland. That's okay. That makes us different, but it also gives us challenges, and we work through them. And we're looking forward to a big year with our regional partners. So welcome to everyone else in the room from around the region. Brisbane's role in Queensland's visitor economy, it continues to grow, and it will continue to grow as we lead up to the 2032 Brisbane Olympic and Paralympic Games, and when we engage with the world. And really we will start to do that more and more in the few years ahead to LA, and then post-LA our engagement is only going to get stronger, and we all need to be understanding of that. As we build momentum towards Brisbane 2032, it's important to recognise that the Games themselves are a moment in time, but the real opportunity sits in the years leading up to 2032 and then the legacy beyond. And that's what we're focused on. Industry development starts now. It's about building capability, aligning efforts across the state and ensuring Queensland delivers strong, consistent visitor experiences over the long term, not just for the next few years. These global market briefings are part of that preparation. They're about making sure industry is informed, confident and ready to respond to global demand. And we would all agree there's a lot changing in the world we now live in. So the purpose again is to share what we are seeing in international markets from our teams and the work TEQ is doing to generate visitation to Queensland. We are going to get into the detail today. So get the coffee in, get the sugar in, and it's going to be a great 4 hours. But there's a lot of information, but every bit of it will be helpful. So we're on the ground in key international markets, delivering marketing, trade and partnership activity, and importantly, working with airlines, all international airlines. It's all supported by That Holiday Feeling, our new brand for Queensland, and that brand is working very well for us. We're not just saying that, we're not drinking from the Kool-Aid, we are marking ourselves hard at TEQ. So I want to see what the scoreboard's telling us, and the scoreboard at the moment is saying keep going. That brand is getting cut through and salience, and we are starting to take on our mates in the southern states in Victoria and New South Wales. We launched the brand in New Zealand, India, Japan and China, and we'll continue to roll it out. It'll sound a little bit different in the US when we roll it out over there because holiday kind of creates a different vibe and different feel over there of the winter holiday season, their winter. So look, but we are going to roll it out and make sure that it is resonating in each of our international markets in the right way. In recent months, our teams have been active across markets including China, India, Japan, strengthening relationships, supporting aviation growth and building long-term demand for Queensland. We want outcomes, we want effort and we want outcomes. Key feature of today is about access. You get access to all of our regional team here. And our operators and our partners have the opportunity to hear directly from our country managers, international directors, and understand how global consumer behaviours are changing. And you'll see today there's some really interesting changes coming along. TA will also touch on that about their insights and learnings in the bigger world. We have team here today from Japan and Korea, New Zealand, the United Kingdom and Europe, Southeast Asia, China, Hong Kong and Taiwan, the Americas and India, all of the markets that we're represented in, where your investment, your money is being invested into those key markets. In terms of Brisbane, Brisbane continues to strengthen as a destination in its own right and as Queensland's primary international gateway. In the year ending 2025 September, about 1.3 million international visitors came through, contributing approximately 3.3 billion in international visitor expenditure. And if you're speaking to Anthony later, we had John Warren yesterday on the Gold Coast, they will acknowledge that they're doing more together now than ever before, realising you can't just compete with each other. Get regions collectively working together to promote themselves and you will have a much bigger win. And you're seeing that with Brisbane Gold Coast, traditionally competitors, but now working together on aviation, working together on in-market activation, working together domestically. That's music to my ears. International visitation to Brisbane continues to be driven by markets including obviously New Zealand, UK, United States and Asia. And that's supported by growing aviation capacity and strong event and business travel demand. You're going to hear a lot about the aviation piece spoken about today, and you're also going to hear the V word, visa, spoken a lot today, and it's something we are leaning into. We need to understand more why visas are giving us restrictions in terms of travel to Queensland, and why a recent change meant that a whole bunch of people from China are landing in Australia and jumping on a plane and flying to Queenstown. So more on that over a coffee. But we need to understand the visa requirements we have in this country by market, and we need to be able to make sure we've got a strong voice into government. And believe me, our state government has got a strong voice in that. They're completely aware of that. Quality of visitation is also improving. This is good news. This means we're getting more yield out of the people that are coming and spend is increasing. So international visitors in Brisbane in particular staying longer, spending more during their stay, reflecting strong engagement with city's accommodation, events, dining and cultural experiences. That's reflective of a comment I would say across the whole state in every region. We are seeing spends okay. We still have some visitation challenges. No one's walking away from that, and that includes getting more into that New South Wales, Victorian markets, those key markets and premium markets for us for Queensland as well. I would argue, and I'm sure Anthony would agree with me, that Brisbane needs more though. Bluey is one thing. We've shown what can happen if you put a global attraction in a capital city. That's fantastic, but we need more. And that's the challenge for Brisbane. How do we get more of those half-day experiences? Probably something our regions are really good at, but Brisbane not as good at. Anthony, I hope you don't mind me saying that, but it's a challenge we all need. And I also would say Bluey has been fantastic to Brisbane, but it's not a given it's going to stay. Competition is another word you're going to hear a lot of today. And competition means people are looking at the success of Bluey globally and saying, why is that thing in Brisbane and why can't we have it here? So we have to be conscious of that. So we're working hard about making sure Bluey is Brisbane and Brisbane is Bluey. Domestic tourism remains the major contributor, as we all know. And in the 9 months to September 25, Brisbane recorded nearly $10 billion in domestic visitor expenditure on the back of about 7 million overnight and 22 million day visitors. We have day visitation now in our tourism stats. So TVE, total visitor expenditure, means that we count day trips in as well. That's more important to some of our 13 regions than others, but overall it supports our events portfolio and gets people moving around the state doing day trips, and we count that now and want to be held accountable to it. And Brisbane, of course, plays a critical role in terms of our main entry point to the state. Yes, we have 4 airports. Brisbane is the largest in terms of its entry point for visitors. Many international visitors, this is their first experience of the state, and they encounter here shapes their perception of Queensland and influences whether they stay longer, but also how they disperse around our regions longer and spend more. We knew that ATE changed the perception after 17 years having ATE here last year. It changed the perception of Brisbane. A lot of distributors and the global community we associate with said, I'm going to think differently now. I don't think we need to have Sydney or Melbourne as first point of call. I think it can be Brisbane. That'll take some time to filter through, but that's the change that event has made, and I think the Olympics are only going to ramp that up even more. Then we get them to disperse. So as we move closer, I'd also say Gert-Jan may well not be here today, but I'd give a nod to the investment that Brisbane Airport is putting in its facilities. If you've just been out there recently and gone through the new experience to get into the airport, you'd see that they're investing heavily in both the international and domestic terminals. That's fantastic for all of us, so more power to them. In closing, I just want to say that we're going to continue to invest in that holiday feeling as a brand platform. We're liking what we see. It's different, it's bright and light, and frankly, that's who we are as a state. We are a holiday state, and we're going to keep hammering away at that, and it's giving us cut through, and I hope it is driving all the other states completely bonkers, and that's what we want. So we are going to keep at that. A bit of healthy competition never hurt anybody, and we need to sort of quietly dislike our other states as we sit in the room today and go hard at them. So look, achieving a goal set out in Destination 2045 will require us to work together as a team. These briefings are about connection, learning and alignment, so our tourism industry is well positioned to deliver these exceptional experiences both now and into the future. So look, thanks again for being here today. A lot of you have travelled a long way, and we get that, and so please travel safe. I'm looking forward to the next few days with our regional partners and looking forward to what we hear today. I'd now like to introduce Anthony Ryan, who was on time and turns up for everything. Thanks, Anthony, the CEO of Brisbane Economic Development Agency. Come on up.